put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Hi viewers, welcome back, and of course, thanks so much for staying with us here on Tobago Updates Television Sports. And of course, we just heard from Jarisha, going out there in the UK to represent Tobago and herself, her family, friends, and the community in netball. I want to congratulate you on that, and of course, wish you all the best. We are now chatting with some swimmers. Yes, I call them swimmers, but it's more than swimming. It's riding and running as well. Triathlon and Aquathlon. And let me say good morning to you guys. Good morning and thanks for joining us here today.
Morning, Marcus.
Morning, fantastic. So we're chatting with Mr. Derek Daniel, President and Head Coach of EXO Multisport, right? And of course, we have our national swimmer and triathlete, Mr. Jacob Cox. Again, comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Jacob, good morning again. Youngest Tobagonian to represent the country, not only at swimming, right?
Yeah.
And of course, triathlon, aquathlon. I mean, tell me about, your personal feeling of all those accomplishments. I mean, out of Tobago, we are surrounded by water, but yet you are the only person representing Tobago on the national team. How does it feel for you?
It feels good, knowing that I put in all my hard work, training, all my training, all my hard work, seeing that it paying off, that is a very good feeling. Very good feeling.
And you started this at age 8. You're now 15.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me about some of the medals and trophies that you have won over the years.
So for swimming, I actually won around 30 trophies.
Wow.
So I now jump into the triathlon and aquathlon and thing.
Yeah.
So I only have a few trophies for that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I have a good amount.
Yeah. Triathlon and aquathlon sounds so difficult. I mean, how do you train and frame your mind to get into this triathlon and aquathlon, and who encouraged you to participate?
So my parents thought it was a
big
good
up to mom,
idea. And my coach normally sends me a schedule by the start of the week. So because he based in Trinidad, I based in Tobago, he sent it to me on WhatsApp.
Right.
And then I go from there and do whatever the schedule tell me to do.
Yeah. Coach, come in here, Coach, right? Sure. It have the aquathlon, the triathlon, and there's duathlon.
Duathlon.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, can you break down the different forms for me?
Sure. So the aquathlon is a swim and then a run. Triathlon is a swim, bike, and then run. And the duathlon, which is coming, the national duathlon is coming up in November. It's a run, a ride, and then a run.
Right.
Probably most challenging for me, at least, of the three.
Yeah. And tell me about coaching Jacob.
So I met Jacob last year on the national team in his first stint on the national team, Carifta, in Bermuda. And there he was selected only to do aquathlon because he showed, obviously, strong swim skills and excellent running skills. And we thought, this is a good opportunity to bring somebody into the sport and start seeing where he can go from there. And from there, he got into it. This year, he committed fully into triathlon and has just been going leaps and bounds from there. He's done some phenomenal work, and working with the team here, it's a pleasure. It's a true pleasure.
Yeah. And are you searching for other triathletes?
Most certainly. Most certainly. Tobago is a wealth of talent, in all sports, and it can't just only be one phenomenal athlete.
Yeah, phenomenal. And
must be a lot more. So we are on the search for a lot more.
And what's needed to start this sport?
So basically, at the very least, you'd want someone who can swim and own a working road bike. A lot of people, when they get into triathlon, they pull up to their first training session and they're on a mountain bike. And sooner or later, they realize, okay, these guys on the road bikes are leaving me way behind. So those two elements, along with just being a disciplined person and having maybe 6 to 8 hours a week for training, you can get into triathlon very easily.
Yeah, fantastic. And in terms of a training schedule for a triathlete or even an aquathlon athlete, I mean, let's take us through the training regiment and, of course, the regiment, the training schedule of Jacob as well.
Right. So for, let's just say a beginner or somebody, and what we call an age grouper, they would take, I would say they would need maybe 4 to 5 days per week of training and maybe 6 to 8 hours at the very minimum. Jacob, of course, is only higher end. He's a national, athlete. So Jacob would train 6 days, 5 to 6 days per week, and his training schedule would vary. So some days you would have 2 disciplines per day, and depending where he is on his cycle, it wouldn't just be swimming, cycling, and running. He may have to do some strength and conditioning work, along with, we would have to do some other work where what we call brick sessions or multi-sport sessions, where he would do a swim into his ride or his ride and then do a run after that. So his sessions would take, 10 to 12 hours per week on average.
And where is it that you pick different beaches in Tobago to train, or there's a specific place in Tobago you train?
So I use where Jacob is comfortable at. So he trains a lot at the YMCA, where he does his pool swimming, and then he would move into, he uses either Buko or also Crown Point, Storby, for his open water swimming.
And Jacob, which is your favorite to do? I mean, you have to swim, then run. Is run, then run?
Right.
Then ride, then run. Which is your favorite to do? Which is the most difficult out of those 3 parts of the triathlon?
The most difficult part is the ride for sure.
The ride?
Yeah, because I'm now starting to learn to ride properly.
Right.
So, but my most favorite will be the swim, of course.
And in all the competitions that you have attended, which was your most favorite in terms of, I mean, you didn't have to make the podium, but you would have enjoyed the most?
So, Bermuda, that was a good experience to me, but I preferred the Caribbean I went this year.
The Caribbean?
Yeah, to Bahamas.
Fantastic. So, and which is your next competition?
Next competition is Saturday, actually.
This Saturday?
Yeah, I open water swim. So from the swimming will start from Pigeon Point. And
it's in Tobago?
Yeah.
And it's a competition?
Yeah, and it ends at Buku. So swimming from Pigeon Point to Buku.
Okay, so you are going to be the only national athlete there, or is it like
No.
Okay, so it's...
So Dante, all the other athletes from YMCA Tobago.
Right.
And,
so it's a Tobago competition?
Yeah.
Okay, and you expect to win, right?
I would like to.
You would like to win. I mean, Jacob, what's your ultimate goal? Like, I mean, you're still a student, right?
Yeah.
Which school do you go to?
Scarborough Secondary.
Big up Scarborough. Big up Scarborough one time. Yeah. What's your ultimate goal?
Just continue training hard and representing my country. Most likely in the Olympics. But
fantastic.
Yeah.
Is there an athlete that you look up to in this particular sport?
For now, right now, no.
No. So you just want to create your own, and then after people look up to you. I like that idea. One must be very proud of you. Coach, again, I mean, the different disciplines, swimming, riding, running. Are you the coach to take up all these different aspects of the triathletes?
So how we generally work in Exo Multisport Club, myself and the other coach, Elia Drakes, we manage all 3 elements. But because now we're working with Jacob, we had to approach it a bit differently. And we're working with Mosi Denoon, and then we have Marlon Winterroach, who's also helping us. The chemistry between all of us works really well, and of course we have the super manager, Claire, who looks after everything.
yes, super manager.
and she's the glue that holds it all together. But I would develop the training schedule, and the actual specific sessions, the details, would be developed by Marlon for the riding and by Mosi for the swimming. So the chemistry works really, really well, and we've, our results show. So we're really happy with how it all comes together.
And that's fantastic. And you mentioned Mosi Denoon, swimming coach. I mean, no stranger to Tobago, and always representing Trinidad and Tobago, whether it's masters or coaching, the likes of that's the only on the others. And know that he's involved in this particular team. And we in Tobago, we are very candid when we are ready, especially with success in that sense. And we are very proud of Jacob and all his achievements. I mean, where do you see him? Because I asked him, about his future. Continue training, and he wants to win more medals. Where do you see him as say 10 years, 5 years on the road?
So Jacob has only really got into triathlon in its fullest aspect, I would say, and in honesty, maybe only 6 to 7 months. But what he's achieved in that time is tremendous. So he's now the national sprint champion, which, I mean, at his young age and his young stage of development is phenomenal. And he's also, picked up a bronze medal at the Carifta Games in Aquathlon. His dedication, his commitment, his focus, he has a laser focus on what he has to do. And how he grasps all what we teach him and coach him is admirable. And if he continues along that trajectory, there's so many opportunities open up to him. Next year, for example, there are a lot more World Triathlon Development Cup races that are going to happen around the Caribbean. Jacob has been to one in Barbados earlier this year. He's going to participate in more next year, and he's going to do a lot better than that. And those are only going to be stepping stones for him onto the bigger stage. He has aspirations to get to the Olympics, and I have no doubt if he stays on that trajectory, he's going to get us there. Yeah,
that's fantastic. And for those who may want to get involved in triathlon, how can they get in touch with your group, or should they show up at Buku, or can they contact someone? How can they get involved?
So Tobago, we have some developmental work to be done in Tobago. Right now, there are no certified triathlon coaches in Tobago, and that's something that we're working on. We've spoken to Mosi, we've spoken to NWC Hall, I'm sure you know a lot about.
Above Fitness, right?
Above Fitness. And NWC, as you know, he's puts on his race in March next year. This third edition, that's really wonderful.
And Jacob would have done well in that event before.
Correct.
Fantastic.
So we need to start working with coaches here and developing coaches here to develop the talent here. So it's one thing to have the talent and the athletes here, but unless they're properly coached, they're not going to reach their fullest potential. So for now, the only group that's ready set up would be Mosi, Marlon, and myself. So the quickest contact would be to get a hold of Mosi, and we can start working, developing the necessary plans for them.
And Jacob, how big is the influence of your mom in your whole development?
Like she really pushes me. She's like my number one supporter. I really appreciate my mother.
And was there any other particular sport that you wanted to get involved with, but your mom said, "Hey, Jacob, go and swim"?
Like it's football.
You wanted to play football?
Yeah, football for sure. But small thing.
Swimming
was good.
I like that one. And of course, you didn't regret getting involved in triathlon.
Not at all.
And what is your reaction like in school? I mean, are you like a big boy? You walk shoulders straight up, and people, hey, look, Jacob there. You get a reaction in school?
Not really. I normally get that from more the teachers.
From the teachers.
Yeah, but I'm like a normal student.
And before you go, Jacob, outside of sport, I mean, I know you being the mom she is. I mean, she'll want to, of course, get into the academics as well. I mean, what career you see yourself in academically?
So far, I don't really know.
You're not sure as yet?
I'm not sure. I'm still making up my mind. But
young. And Derek, anything you want to say before you go?
No, just thank you for having us here. We look forward to seeing a lot more athletes come out of Tobago. Jacob is going to be the beacon for the future for triathlon in Tobago and triathletes. And we hope to see a lot more interest and support for the sport of triathlon in Tobago.
Yeah, fantastic. I like that word you use. He's going to be the beacon. And of course, the only Tobagonian to represent Tobago on the national swim team, of course, triathlon and aquathlon. I want to wish him all the best and shout out to his mom, super manager, as Derek could have said, and continue putting in the hard work there. Because, we don't have people supporting, especially like being an agent, right? And we often forget that you need someone there. Even though you are performing, you need someone to support with the administrative stuff, motivating you and all these different things. And who else better than a mom or a dad to support? So shout out to Claire Cox and for the role that you have played in his development thus far. And of course, I know that you are willing to have others involved here in Tobago. So guys, thank you so much for being with us on this Friday Tobago Updates Television Sports. I want to thank Mr. Derek and thank Jacob for joining us. And of course, thank Jerisha and wishing her all the best as well. So we're going to jump over to Candice with Good Morning Tobago. Yes, I think Good Morning Tobago. Viewers continue to share the live, and I'm going to see you again next Friday.